All right. So welcome now to finding a linear regression line using the calculator. So we have to learn how to find the linear regression line using a calculator. What do you have now? You have the data set, okay, x comma y. These are the x variables, 1.64 comma 63. Okay, 63 is the value of y. The other one is 1.87, 1.86 comma 72. 72 is the value of y, 1.86 is the value of x. The other value of x is 1.82 comma 88, the value of y, 1.75, the value of x comma 878, the value of y, and 1.67, the value of x comma 67, the value of what? The value of y. So you can actually rely this very data horizontally, okay, where you put the x variables in line like that and the y variables down where they are here. So you start with the x variables 1.64, 1.86, 1.82, 1.85, 1.67, just like that in the same line, okay, and put them in one line. You can also put the y variables in the same line, just those y variables, that equals 63, 72, 88, just like that in the same line. Or if you want, you can put them vertical like this. The values of x, you can put them here. The values of y, you can put them here. It's still the same thing, but basically what you are saying is that you should be able to indicate and record these details. Now, what do we have? We are told always that the value of beta 1, the value of beta 1 is equal to n, the summation of xy minus the summation of x times the summation of y divided by n, the summation of x squared minus open the brackets, summation of x, then you close, you square that. Okay, whereas beta naught is given as y bar, which is the bin of y variables, minus beta 1 times x bar. And you know that the linear regression model is given as y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x plus the error term. So we see that in the model, the regression line, there is beta 1. How do you find beta 1? This is the formula here, how to find beta 1. These are the values that we need. Then how do you find the beta naught? The beta naught is found by this formula above here. You need the mean of y variables and the mean of x variables and the value of beta 1. So you always start with the value of beta 1. So what you have to learn is that using a calculator, okay, given a calculator like this one, you can actually find these values, the values of n, the value of summation of x, y. You can find the values of summation of x and the values of summation of y, the values of the summation of what? The summation of x squared and summation of x, all these values, y bar, which is the mean of y values, x bar, the mean of x values, okay? You can actually find those values and just replace them in this linear regression line and put them like that, then you come up with a model. So you can use your calculator. How do you use a calculator? To start with, you turn your calculator on, press on. Once your calculator is on, check now, you go on mode, you press on mode, number 3. From there, you go to number 3, regression. Regression, since you want to do regression analysis, regression number 3. Then from regression, you go to linear. It's going to be linear regression, right? 1. Then from there, you go to shift, and you go to mode again. Then you go to scientific, right? Number 1. You press 1, you press 1, okay? Press 1, scientific, press 1. Bam, and it will show you start clearing. Then you go on the press on, then you start clearing. To start clearing, you start entering these same numbers the way how they appear exactly. Okay, start with the x variable, then comma, the y variable. The x variable to start with in the first data set is 1.64, comma 63, 63, and then you enter that one M plus here, where there is M plus. You've seen the symbol, M plus. You press here, then it will show you, your calculator will show you N is equal to 1, which means the first data set that you've entered, you've just entered only one data set. Then the following is the next one is it will be 1.82 comma what 72, right? 72, and you press on M plus 1 to enter that one. It has been entered. It shows you now N is equal to 2, showing that the two data sets have already been entered. Okay, all right. Then you go to N to 1.82, 1.82 comma 88. Okay, comma 88. You press that. Okay, you press that. You enter that. It shows you 3 have been entered. Then you go to 1.75 comma 78. 78 that has been entered. You go on plus M plus, it has been entered. Then you go to 1.67, the value of X, comma, the value of Y is 67, 67. Then you M plus here. That shows that you are entering the data. M plus, 5 data sets have been entered. So from there now, to get these values, okay, the summation of X, N, summation of Y, what all these, you have to press now, start with, say shift 1. You've seen now the calculator has given you the summation of X squared, this one, the summation of X squared. So to get the summation of X squared, just press on 1, you press on 1 and say is equal to. You've seen it has come out. Okay, it has already come out. Okay, that is the value. That is the value. That's the value of that number. So you write it. Okay, write it. So we can actually do better to write that as the summation of what X squared, right? The summation of X squared is equal to 15,160,58, right? 15,160,58. Then you go again to shift 1. We've seen it gives us now the summation of X. We've seen that in the formula we need summation of X here. So that is found by pressing 2 here. Just press 2 on your calculator, and then you say is equal to. It gives you 8.7. Which means when you sum up the X variables, you get 8.7. Again, you go to shift, you press 1. It will shows you now the number N. Seeing there is N in the formula. It is found by pressing here 3 on the calculator and say is equal to, gives you 5, which means the data sets or the coordinates are 5. Then again, you go on 1, shift 1, then you move to the right, press here. Okay, on this arrow of your calculator going to the right part, it will give you now the summation of Y squared, and it is equal to what? Right 1 is equal to 27, right? It gives us 27. What did we find? 27, 470. And we go on shift 1 and we move to the right. It will give you the sum of Y that should be equal to, you know that in the formula there is where you need the sum of Y here, summation of Y. So you press 2 on your calculator, 2 on your calculator, press 2 on your calculator. You can actually press 2 and say is equal to. It gives you 368, the values of Y. Then you can also say shift 1, again you move to the right. Now you can see now that summation of X, Y. The summation of X, Y variable is 3. Press 3 here, press on 3, and say is equal to. It gives you 64291. 64291. Okay, 64291. You write down 64291. You're just writing down these values as the summary statistics as they occur. Then you go on shift 1, you move to your right, you can no longer have n, you can now go back again, say shift 2 instead of using 1. Okay, you can now go shift, you press 2, and you see the first thing that comes is x bar. Press 1, find the x bar, and say is equal to 1.74. That is the x bar, 1.74. And again, you can say shift 2, you move to the right now. It gives you y bar. See in y bar on your calculator, you need 1 to get y bar. Just press 1, then it equals, it gives you 73.6 as the y bar. Again, you can say press 2, you shift 2, then you move to the right twice. Again, you move to the right. It gives you the value of A, which is always equal to the value of the beta naught. Okay, what is your beta naught? Just press on 1 to get the value of A, and say is equal to, it has given us negative what? 88.51, rounded off to 2 decimal places. And you can also do shift 2 again, move again to the right twice, 1, 2. It gives us the value of B. The value of B is always equal to the value of beta 1. And what is the value of beta 1? Say is equal to, that is 93.17, rounded off to 2 decimal places. You can see it is a round off to 2 decimal places. Then from there now, we can actually now see that we need, we have all the summaries that we need in this formula. All the values are now here. I've gotten them from the calculator, which are basically the summary statistics. All these statistics, you got them from the calculator as indicated. So what you do now, you go back to find the values of beta 1. Say beta 1 is actually equal to, what is the n? The value of n, you go back to check the value of n. The value of n is 5. So you write 5 times xy. What is xy? Summation of xy, go back to your calculator. Summation of xy, you've seen it. The value of xy is 64,291. The summation of xy. So write 64,291. You close minus c. What follows next in the formula is summation of x. What is summation of x? You see here, 8.7. Close. Summation of y. Summation of y is here, 368. So write 368. You close like that. Over n. The formula shows that there is n. Our n is 5. You open the bracket. What is summation of x squared? Summation of x squared is it's here is 151658. See it? Summation of x squared. So it's 151658 minus what comes next? You open the bracket. Summation of x. What is summation of x? Summation of x is 8 point. We've seen it, 8.7. So you can write 8.7 and you square that. When you command your calculator, you get the value of beta 1, and which is equal to 93.17 as rounded off, if you round it off to 2 decimal places. Then from there, you need beta naught. You say to find beta naught. What did you say? To find beta naught, you need y bar, right? Say that you need the y bar. It's a y bar minus beta 1 x bar. So you need y bar. It's equal to y bar. What is our y bar? We found y bar, right? Our y bar is 73.6. That's our y bar. 73 point what? 0.6. 73.6. So 73.6. 73.6. That's what we have seen. Then minus the beta 1, which is 93.17. Okay. Minus beta 1 times the x bar. What is our x bar in the question? 1 point. It is 1.74. That's our x bar. 1.74, like that. So beta naught is equal to what? Command your calculator straight, just like that. So when you command your calculator, you will have 73.6 minus what? 93.17. You open the bracket. X bar is 1.74. We close and say, is that equal to? You found a negative what? Negative 88.51. Okay, negative 88.51. Okay, negative 88.51. So you have negative 88.51. Gotten that on your calculator. Just command that on your calculator. So now your equation, your regression line, which is equal to y is equal to beta naught plus c, beta 1 x plus c, the error term shall be equal to get the value of beta naught and write it here, the value of beta naught. We said it is negative 88. So y is equal to negative 88.51 plus the y bar, the beta 1, which is 93.17. Then you put x plus the error term. So basically, by so doing, you have estimated the regression line using a what? A calculator. So that is actually how you do the regression line using a calculator. You can get the summary statistics. These are summary statistics that you just get from the calculator and compute them into the what? Into the formula. Just write them into these formulas. Okay, start with beta 1. Always first find the value of beta 1. And then from there, you can easily find the value of beta naught, because if you already have beta 1, it's easy to find the value of beta naught. Okay, so that is basically what you do. Just know how to command your calculator. I said the first thing that you do is always to turn on your calculator, then you press on mode, go to regression, go to linear regression, shift mode, go to scientific, and start clearing. Just go back to on and start then entering the values the way how they appear, comma, write the other. So start with the value of x, then comma, the value of y. And you should always be putting your commas here. And whenever you enter a data set like this, you should always press N here, M plus, to enter that data set just like that. And then you can easily get the summary statistics. Okay. Until we meet again, it was really a nice conversation to have you. Hopefully, this has been helpful and you have learned how to calculate using, how to estimate the regression line using a calculator.